You're welcome to Riot TV.
I was really scared of men and guys because all my kidnappers were guys.
Daddy, what now? We'll be late for school. Like, what's going on? I said, Jala has been kidnapped.
Be like,
My mom was just like, they should just return her back. I don't know, however they want to do it. They should just, even if she's in pieces, they should bring it out, back together, take her back and keep it.
But like the biggest thing at the time was the hostility towards my dad. I was fine with my mom and my sister, so I was really just like, every time I see him, I just frown and like hide behind my mom.
I always go home, she's like telling my mom that Jessie just totally usurps my authority. She doesn't listen to me. She's always yelling at me. And my mom will be like, you rat, shut up your mouth.
I love your mom, I love your mom.
There's times where the pressure was here. And in our team, what a lot of people don't know is...
You want to delete the YouTube?
Yes,
I
delete
rebuke you in
the
Jesus.
And this is when it was doing all these big numbers.
My back, leaving town. Wow, this has been a long time coming. You know, when they said you guys were in Lagos, I'm like, we have to shoot. We have to shoot. It's great to see you.
You too.
Okay, so because you guys are sisters, or you're popular sisters, you do work together, people might not be able to separate who is who sometimes. So introduce yourselves.
Hi everyone, I'm
Damina.
Jemima Damina.
You're the youngest, huh?
Yes, she is.
Jessie Damina.
Jessie Damina. Jessie, are you the oldest? No, Jemima is the oldest. Yes, I had to be sure. Well, great to meet you all. Wow. I'm telling you, I'm such a fan of you guys and have been for about 2 years. You know, just following the work and thinking, is this a fluke? This seems too good to be true.
Right, we thought the same thing too.
You thought the same thing too?
Yeah, when it started, yeah.
Right, tell me about that.
Well, I mean, when we first started out,
You look like your mom so much. Oh my God.
yes. But when we first started out, it was just more or less like, you know, let's just put something up there. Because we finished film school, Jessie and I, and we came back in Florida, Full Sail University. So we came back to Nigeria and we're hoping to enter Nollywood. So I remember writing a few emails to a few people in the industry that time. I was like, I'm ready to do a PA, anything, run, light, sound, hold the pole, anything. But I just want to get a chance to do the industry. And nobody got back to me. So I kind of felt crushed and I felt down. And I remember I was speaking to my mom about it and she said, why are you doing all this? You literally went to a school that taught you everything about film.
Yeah.
So why not do something with your sisters by yourself? And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. Because I studied cinematography, filmmaking, and she did animation at first. So, but I know she used to like write scripts and stuff like that. So I said, you know what, Jessie, write something for me and I'll shoot it. And so we did all that. It was just like a mini production. I remember that time our boom pole was a mop stick with a pin mic wrapped at the edge.
For real?
Yeah, that was the boom pole. Because we didn't have any equipment or anything. But so we did auditions. Like, it was a very closed audition process with like church members, just a few people. And I remember she was an extra. She was just supposed to be like a student in the class.
Yeah, so she wasn't planned to be part of it.
Acting or anything. And so we planned that. And then on the day of shoot, none of the actresses showed up. That's the main character, who was supposed to be Olive.
What?
So, yes, and we had the Olive and we had an understudy who was supposed to be like backup. Both of them bailed on that day. So yeah, I remember
love
we were
it.
just sitting and wondering, oh my God, what are we going to do? We're like freaking out. So I called my mom and then she was like, why are you freaking out once again? Jael is there. Does she know the script? She's like, yes. Okay, then have her do it. I'm like, oh, yeah, I should do that.
Wow, that's how you got to do
Yeah,
that.
that's pretty much how she was Olive. And so we shot it, put it on YouTube. YouTube, we're just like, oh, it's a free platform. You just put it up there and then put it up there. Before we know, I think the first day we had like 300 views because it was us watching it over and over again.
For real.
And then the people who worked with us as well watching it as well. And then I remember after a week it was like 1,000 views.
Yeah.
And we're like, I know we watch it a lot, but like
Not
this
up to
much.
1,000.
And then before we know, I think another week it was 10,000, and literally every week it just kept adding 20, 30, and then I remember when it got to 100K. And like my heart was literally
stopped.
beating because I was freaking out. I was like, oh my god, who is watching? Like
Oh my God, I have
the
goosebumps.
comments. Yes, I know. We stopped checking.
You stopped
Yeah,
checking
we
after
didn't even
that.
look anymore
Because
because
my dad was the one keeping
Yeah, he
score.
was
like,
not the one
guys,
keeping
it's at 100,
tabs.
it's at 200. We're like, no, don't tell us, because it was freaking us out. Because we know when we were shooting it, it wasn't
No
the best
expectation.
effort. Yeah. And then when it was going that far, we're like, no, this is so... We're kind of embarrassed as well because
Yeah.
it wasn't perfect.
there was terrible audio.
I mean, a mob stick was your
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. There was even like you would hear the background noise.
We had to ADR 80% of the film because the sound
was
was
horrible.
horrible.
So we had the actors come back in and then and then everything. And
Oh my goodness.
yeah, I have to say, among everything, that was like my worst episode because it ended up being a series later on after it did well, and then
Right. And so this episode that you people hate that you're talking about is the one that is now at 10 million views, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
it's crazy.
The way it took off and continues to like just be ahead of everything else is always humbling, I would say, because I see at the end of the day it's not our efforts, but I would just say it was angels. I would just say it's God's touch on our work that has really taken it far. Because from that episode on our YouTube analytics, that episode is still the one bringing us most of the traffic and everything that we have.
That's
So
what
it-
people first see.
Yeah, they continue to see that and then they watch the rest of it. So we're thankful for it at the end of the day.
Okay, so I want to ask Jel. Yes, this. So of course you could. So yes, there is angels, obviously. There's angels, obviously. What was it like suddenly becoming a lead actor in a thing you didn't plan?
Scary. Scary, and I would say because acting was never my plan. It was never what I wanted to do. So when I started, it was just like, oh, it's a favor to my sisters. It's an emergency. So that's how it started. And after the first one, I was like, oh, I'm never doing this again because that was scary, and I suck at it. Like I'm terrible. So this is obviously not for me. And then everyone was like, make it a series, make it a series. I'm like, okay, you guys will cast
So when you
someone
started
else.
it, you were not even planning to make it a
just a
series.
short
No,
film.
it's just
Yeah,
a short film.
yeah.
It was like, make it a series. And I'm like, okay, you guys will cast someone else as Olive, or like, it can't be me. I'm like, okay, let's make it a series. And then I had to keep going. And I think it's after like the first 6 episodes, I was like, okay, I actually like doing this. This is nice. I like being someone else. It's just exciting to like step into someone else's shoes. So it was still scary, of course, because I was inexperienced. I didn't know what I was doing. So, but it was amazing. It was great. It was great. Working with my sisters was amazing. Like my first thing.
What were you thinking you were going to be doing?
I was heavily leaning towards fashion. I wanted to be a fashion designer, the next Ted Baker, or like, Gucci or whatever. But yeah, and modeling. That was my thing, yeah.
Yeah, I can totally see modeling. How's that go? So have you ever modeled then?
So after the show started, I haven't really had like the chance to do anything else I wanted to do. It's taken complete control of my whole life. But I mean, I have wanted to branch out into other things, but I think acting is my main thing for now. Yeah, so it's been good.
Isn't life incredible? How your part, you think you have all these great plans for your life, and then God is just laughing like, look at this one. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you didn't know much about it.
Right. So when did this start?
This was in July 2018.
So this is when the series started. But the music has started before. What this started?
Yes, 2009.
I think it's been 12 years.
Yes. The music started before you left the country, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes, for school.
Before you knew ourselves.
Before you even knew yourselves. Right. And this was 3 of you.
Yes.
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 Actually, it even started
with
way before Triple J. Before
Okay.
Triple J, there was J Sapphire.
Which was
There
the two of them.
Oh,
Because she
right.
was much too young.
Yes,
to,
yes,
And then she just used to dance, and then it was now Triple J when she grew bigger, and then she used to dance, and then she started singing.
So 2 of you. So you didn't know if she was going. She was much younger. So you
Yeah,
didn't know she was going
she's
to.
still young.
So 2 of you started this group called J Sapphire.
Yes.
Why is that funny?
It's just the name.
That's the name, right? You know, I like the name, J Sapphire. Anyway, but so what? How did that start?
I used to write songs. I still do.
You still do.
I was the music head, and I think I just was used to having her by my side. So I was like, Mama, when I see you harmonize, and I wanted her to be my backup, kind of. But then we started doing it together, and she would match my energy. And we're like, oh, this is cool. Let's do this more often. And we went to the studio, recorded a few, and then my mom was like, Giles is a food. Let's go join you guys. And we're like, okay. And then my mom was like, why don't you call yourselves Triple J Plus? She came up with the name. Which
To your mom?
Yes,
Yes.
which we hated at first.
We're like,
because what is Triple J Plus?
flat.
It just what is that?
Yeah.
But she, being mom, she was mother power and forced all of us to
Right.
take it on. But it's really stuck because even in film now, we say created, if it's a story we wrote, we'll say created by Triple J Plus. So with the music, yeah, that's pretty much how it started. And we would sing and she would dance. And then few years later, we realized she could sing as well. So she started singing.
What's plus in the two?
Jesus.
So right, so three of you and the man in the fire.
Yes, exactly. exactly.
Right. What's the age gap between you and her?
7 years.
7 years, right? That's
a big gap.
That's a gap. So you guys went out of Nigeria around the same time because
We went first.
And I
she
came
joined.
up
Maybe a year later.
She joined. Right, yeah. And so, but your music has started before you left. So do you have to suspend the music?
Oh,
then?
absolutely.
Yes. To
In
do
fact, we thought I was confident that we had disbanded because there wasn't much we could do. We had school, and school was not even in the music route; it was in the film route. So, like, how are we going to do this? And ever since we went into film through school, we didn't have a chance to come back to music yet. In fact, the only way we've been able to mesh music with everything is through the show, because I ended up writing a lot of the songs for the show. And that was actually a great compromise for me, because I can't be away from music for long. So having that opportunity,
It also, then also the theme song, when you guys do the music, it also blows up on YouTube.
yes, that also does well. It's true, and I was like, okay, great, we're having the best of both worlds, it's all working out. It was not until last year I was able to bully them to go in the studio. We went to the studio January this year, and we're able to record a few new songs as Triple J Plus, which we're currently working on. It released this year, so we'll have some new stuff. I mean,
So that means that you kind of suspended the music for a bit. Is that what it means?
yes,
Right.
for like 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that you guys just went to the studio last year or this
This
year?
year.
Oh, just
January.
this year.
Yeah.
So something's
Something
cooking.
is cooking. Sure.
What pushed you to say, okay, let's go to the studio?
I think she said, I'm not going to do music with you guys anymore.
Yes,
You guys want to do
I
We're
kicked
like,
them
"No,
out
it's
of
not
the
like-
group."
it's not like- No, wait, okay, what do you want us to do? No, because she's like, you guys are discouraging me. Every time I want to do music, you're not interested. And I'm like, no.
And we all had like the vibe and the energy.
Yeah, and then
it,
for
so
some reason, we
which
were
is-
all
it's aligned,
feeling it.
yeah.
So like I said, you know what?
Let's do it.
Why do you think you guys were not enthusiastic at first?
I feel like Mama is
I'm not
really
really
music oriented.
Yeah.
So she's like really ever in the mood for music. So
We have
when
to
she
wake
needs
you
it's
up.
like,
She has to be
let's do it,
gingered
yeah.
and
But if it's film, I'm always
She's
ready.
always
ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about your parents and your dad especially. I mean, I don't know how much you know, but I'm a fan of your dad.
I think I know.
Okay, you think you know. Okay, I didn't know if you knew. I'm a fan of your dad. You know, I have 3 pastors. My pastor whose church I go to in Lagos, Pastor Sam Akiemi. My pastor whose church I go to when I'm in Uyo, which I'm not going to do a lot, but anytime I'm in Uyo, I go to church and hide at the back. So your dad and Bishop TDJ. But your dad holds a special place in my heart. Oh my God, I could tear up because, oh my God, I'm about to tear up talking about your dad. What is going on here? Because at the point when I was almost going to leave Christianity, just tired, just exhausted, and I chanced upon your dad's videos on YouTube. And I was like, I've been thinking that. I've been saying that. Oh my God. And I went to Google and I'm like, no, maybe he's a new pastor. And I cannot listen to new pastors. Then I found out, no, it's not just, it's an OG pastor, PFN leader, etc. Then he has preached at Trem, which is one of my favorite churches. Your father saved my faith.
Oh my gosh.
Your father saved my faith. And so I'm so deeply just thankful to it. So when I discovered you guys separately, of course, then I was researching. I'm like, no, it cannot be the same time. It's not like, no, it cannot, like it's not fair for one family.
It is.
It is. But what was it like growing up with such radicals for parents?
I feel like, you know how your parents, you just say they're my parents, you have to respect them. But for me, right now, it's just, they've earned it in a way. It's not just because they're my parents, but the way they've lived their lives, the way they've raised us, the way they handle situations that I would think that you know, mommy should not know. But then her response would just make me, I'm so happy I told you, you know, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, there's just that mutual respect. I mean, we fool around, we play and everything, but when it comes to the serious stuff, the way they handle things is just amazing. I love them. It's very godly. And you know how people think that godly means strict. And so when we meet people and they don't see us doing that, they're like, come on,
Are you Christian?
there's something different, like what's going on? And then we're just like, honestly, where do we start? So yeah, sit down, let me tell you, you know, and that's how it is. So, but yeah, I think the way they raised us has really affected how our mindset and who we are, even our work.
I dare say our parents are responsible for where we are in terms of how much we've grown and even our success in film and in music, because there are many times that we've doubted ourselves. There's many times we wanted to quit. I think our fans should personally thank our parents for our channel still being in existence, because there's times where the pressure was here. And in our team, what a lot of people don't know is
You want to
our
delete
team-
the YouTube
I delete the
channel?
And this is when it was doing all these big numbers, right? But there was so much pressure in terms of we sitting here are our team. We film the show, we write the show, we edit the show. But people don't understand how much that takes from a person. There was a time where we were just ghosts sitting at computers. Like there was nothing, there's nothing you could tell me. I was ready to give up. I was like, Daddy, I'm going to delete this channel now. He said, no, they don't do like that. Calm down.
I mean,
So relax.
that's the problem.
Your mother is cooking. Go and eat. He's like, okay. They always try to, even with mean comments as well, because we got a lot of mean comments, especially if we would delay like maybe a day to release an episode or a few hours.
People will be
They
saying
would-
comments because you are
Oh
doing
my
it.
God!
They would come for us.
Like a minute before the premiere.
You
they'll
guys
be
said,
like,
wait,
I mean, yeah, like, you know how it's like a minute before the premiere. Oh my God, I love you guys. I can't wait.
Yes,
Oh,
and then you're late
after.
by a minute. Where is it? You people are always
What's
falling our hand. This is nonsense. You are the worst. This is why I don't watch this. I'm unsubscribing now.
Yes.
Like,
Like
complete
aggressive
flip.
comments.
And I'll be like, where's the support?
Where's the
I
love?
don't see like a single "I love you guys" anymore.
Yeah.
Everything is just
Just
like
Oh my
switch it.
God.
Like at some point, we just have to turn it on.
Turn off, Then my dad would be like, listen, this happens, that they're holding you accountable. If you said 8 o'clock, why isn't it up by 8? And apart from that, when things like this happen, even if you're not at fault, you have to be bigger than the situation and see that it comes with the territory. At that moment, we're not ready to hear it because they're like, even
though.
all my blood and
should
sweat.
understand.
They should understand. It's like there's no way they're going to understand. They don't know what it takes. So you have to think, you have to think graciously. And he's the reason. They're, especially my mom too. They're the reason why a lot of our success has been,
Even while we were shooting, like we'd have late nights, and then the next morning call time is like 7, and I'll wake up and I'm like, nope, I'm not doing this. Like I'm not doing this. You guys can shoot the rest of the show without me. I'm not doing this. And my dad would come to my room. He's like, Jayo, you have 7 a.m. call time. I'm like, Daddy, I quit. I'm not Olive anymore. They should cast someone else. He's like, no, they don't do like that.
They don't do like that.
Calm down.
Yeah, I've eaten
Your
this
mom
money
is cooking. You can't eat. Drink tea. Do you need some coffee? And it's always just like, it makes me laugh. And I'm just like, okay, I go in the back. That's how
Tell me one of you guys' biggest fights. What do you fight about?
What don't we fight about?
Actually, it sets things.
I would say the power dynamic on set.
Yeah, it's always
It's
between
usually
both
the
of them.
is the basis of
just
They're the
yourself
elephant
out.
out of the grass. Yeah, true. I'm always just like the middleman, like.
No, because you're elder sister.
Yeah.
And then, wait.
But she wrote the show.
But she
I
wrote the show, you're
she's
directing it.
Yes.
Normally in the anatomy of everything, she's at the head.
Yes.
But
But you're not having it.
Like, look, don't change
I
my
have
idea.
a vision, and unfortunately for her, I'm also part of the process. So if I see her doing something that I don't understand, I'm like, hello, sister. That's not what we wrote. That's not what we agreed. Actually, like, when did me and you agree? I'm the director. I say we do this. And the good thing is she's so lovely because she is always willing to do it how I want. But at the end of the day, we have similar interests when it comes to film. So she knows what I want, but sometimes she'll make a decision that I wasn't a part of. So when I come and I'm seeing it going a different way, I start yelling or being upset.
She'll bring out the
Yes.
sister parts.
And then
like,
this one is like, do you
Oh,
think?
upset.
She's like, do you think I made a decision without thinking it through further? Do you think I'm just moving mad? I'm just like, oh, let's. No, she's like, I have thought through, and I think this is the best way. And I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. But then I've already caused some strife. And when we go home, she's like telling my mom that just Cassie just totally usurps my authority. She doesn't listen to me. She's always yelling at me. And my mom will be like, you rat, shut up your mouth.
I love your mom. I love your mom.
My mom is like, obviously you guys are sisters, you put your heads together, you talk about it here in the room, but when you go out, she's the leader of the thing and you're just whatever, because I do other things and such. Like whatever role you're supposed to do, stick with that. Don't interrupt her process or don't put your mouth on that.
I think there's even a fight we had on set and she left. Like she left
Yes,
set. She didn't come back.
I just went home. And my parents were like, what are you doing at home? I said, Mommy, I quit. I'm not going back. My dad was
It's
like,
not J plus.
I left them on location. I entered the bus. I took the bus home. I was like, you'd like be stranded. And they were far from town. I was like, be stranded. I don't care. I just went home. My dad was like, okay. He said, but you know you go back. I said, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. He said, like, okay, that. Let me give us something.
I love it. I want to say what ability.
The mom was like, Then she called
Then
and said that she was hungry.
funny enough, I was actually sick that period. So I didn't even expect her to come back and I didn't have energy to fight. So I just let her go. But then all of a sudden I saw the boss coming back. And
I came back with food. I was like, Mommy sent you things. And I had to be the delivery man. So there you go.
Just take it.
And that's how she
We
came
kind of
back.
made
and
up from there.
You guys just seem to focus on the work. Is that deliberate?
We love the work. I would say it's because we're not quite where we want to be, and we can only spend our energies trying to get there.
I love that.
And
Wait. Oh, that was so heartfelt and so powerful.
that's really what it is.
Ooh,
Because
we love the work,
Yes.
and that we are not yet where we want to be.
at all,
I feel like we've not even scratched
We haven't started.
the surface.
It's so, oh
We're
my
still doing
God.
like pre.
Yeah, sometimes we'll just be sitting and talking and we're like,
We're like,
get the camera, get the
So if I just in the research stage.
exactly.
We'll be like freaking out, like, oh my God, okay,
I can't
okay,
wait.
just write it down, just
Yeah.
write it down. Like the next day is like the next idea, like it could literally be anything, so maybe something
The
she
littlest
says
thing.
or like a situation
should
we
be
have, and before you know it, the whole project has come out from it. And we're just like, I feel like that's just how we've kind of just put ourselves to just keep focusing on the work. I think it's even now after Best Friends, because we've actually got a lot of people saying, oh my God, how do you have this show and you're not doing anything with
Yeah,
it? You're
some
not
people are telling us
doing
many
this."
people don't know you're even Nigerian. Or that
Yes.
you're in Nigeria.
I didn't know you were.
Yes.
The first one was the set was both Nigerian, and I thought this set could have been built anywhere. So so there was all that because it just felt the thing looks too good to be true. You get what I mean? It just feels like, is Disney investing in Nigeria without telling us? Are they like trying something? You know, at the first I was like, that's why I began to research. You guys like, no, this is not too good to be true. And this is all organic. No, maybe it's Hulu, maybe it's ABC Network, maybe they're just doing something.
Amen.
So I think it's just now we're even trying to say, and funny enough, the reason we're even saying, okay, you know, maybe we should consider sponsors, maybe it's for the next project. It's not even
Not for these ones.
Yes, it's not. It's just for like, oh my God, the next one has to be
Because
better.
we know how, yeah.
I feel like for me, the negativity I received that really hit me was the whole, oh, why is the boom showing? Why is the edit doing this? And it was more technical for me because I'm literally the only one doing everything. I'm the one with the framing, I have to direct, and then it's like sometimes I don't see that the boom has dipped in because I'm too busy focusing on the acting or, you know, one thing or the other. And then it's when it's premiering, I'm like, that was a boom. That was a boom pulling the shot. And like sometimes I'm not literally watching the premiere because I'm just waiting for something to happen.
Your sister was kidnapped when she was younger.
Yes, so she was
Yes.
5.
When she was 5.
I remember, I think I was writing my SSC, I think, and she was writing the SSC.
No.
I think.
We're writing.
There was like this
There was an
important
exam. There was an
Yeah, I
exam.
can't remember what exactly, but it was
Yeah.
this whole exam that if you don't take it, you can't move to the next
Yeah.
level. And we had prayers that morning.
Yeah, we had a whole prayer
The regular
program in church.
Yeah,
prayers
was
every
going on in
morning.
church, but then in the house we're just in our regular, you know, thank you God, early morning devotion, and then Jael got ready for school, but we weren't ready, and my mom said, oh, so she won't be late. Let our uncle take her to school, and then we will go with the driver. So we're like, okay, so she left. So we're still at home. All of a sudden we heard like sound, and then we like locked the door. We're not really sure what it was. Someone came, knocked at the window, and then left. So after a few minutes, we're just like, what's going on? Whatever. My mom got a call from Africa. She said, they're taking Jael. And I was like, taking her to where? School? What do you mean? It's like some armed men came, pointed at the gun gone to her and said, come with us, we're daddy's friend, just come, okay? And she followed them and now she's gone. All I know is that there was just a lot of this thing going on. They didn't tell us yet. I could see, like, he didn't even know how to put it. Yeah. So it was just like, Daddy, what? And we'll be late for school. Like, what's going on? Child has been kidnapped.
Be like,
and we're just like, we wanted to start on don't cry. I remember the first day, so I think they called, they asked for like ransom and everything. And then I think that time my mom's ringtone was her singing. The voice
recording of her. Yeah.
So I think the third day, the song was playing, my mom flung the phone across the room. Like, she was just like, just want to know. And then the fourth day, fifth day, sixth day. I think on the sixth day we went to church again. We did prayers and we prayed also for her. But when we came back, it was so terrible because I remember my dad saying, God, if she's not returned by like the next day or like before it gets to 70, I need to go ministry and leave this country and just bury the rest of my two children. I really remember that because he said it like in the parlor room. And my mom was just like, they should just return her back. I don't know however they want to do it. Even if she's in pieces, they should bring it out back together. Take her back and keep it. The seventh day, when we were about to give up, I remember I was sitting in my room and it was really crazy, and I heard we have a picket fence, I heard the fence open, and I just saw a short head like bopping and coming. And I was like, oh my God, Charlie's here! Like, we rushed through. Like, I remember we all struggled to pass through the door because we were like 5 of us. Like, we walked and just like, oh, hi guys. They fitted the house. Like,
it was the window.
We was like, what? Child, oh my God. Like, her hair was like chop all over. She was wearing one, like a boy's clothing. I remember she like stripped that, shaved her head, like cleaned her up, and she was just so like, oh wow, guys. And then I think I remember her saying, Daddy, why did you come and get me? Something like that.
So, I mean, obviously, when you came back, you were not traumatized by this because, I mean, somehow or the other, you were able to remain in yourself. Did it change you in any way, affect you in any way, or no?
I think the biggest change at that time, the change isn't here anymore, but like the biggest change at the time was the hostility towards my dad. I was fine with my mom and my sister, so I was really just like, every time I see him, I just frown and like hide behind my mom. I was really scared of men and guys because all my kidnappers were guys, so if I say guy, I'd be like freaking out. I think even till I was 15, 16 or like 17, we were in Orlando, and I knew I was like, it still like had some effect because we were standing on the road and this huge van passed and I was like just standing and I was like nope, and I just like froze. I was like, let me just go back inside because anything could happen. So I still have, or I used to have those,
How did you come out of them?
I think just being with my family, healing, especially from God, just constant prayer and just remembering that I'm safe and back home because with me nothing can harm me. So just that constant reminder every day really helped.
Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
In case I have not said it,
It was great.
I'm your fan.
It was great.
Thank you so
I
much.
just, I think that, first of all, I think that you guys are just geniuses. I honestly think so. I'm not exaggerating the word. I think so. You're doing something that hasn't been done before in ways that have never been done. I just love the focus on the work. I just think that I'd be sorry if I'm being patronizing, but I'm old enough to patronize. I think that your parents just did incredible. Just listening to you guys, I'm Oscoff, they must do great things. Thank you, and I can't wait to see all the incredible things that your studio and your signature style is going to do in Africa. Wow. I said it like in a few years. When it's happening, you'll be like, this man said it. He said it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
for having
And
us.
it's a wrap.